Hey, my friend David Burns, good to be with you today. We're going to drop back into this hive. Possibility of some swarm cells, we'll check it out. But we're going to go ahead and make a split. I'm going to take 5 frames out of good stuff and put it in a nucleus box, walk away over there where I'm putting all my splits over there now. And that way we can make a split. I'll show you guys how I make my splits. Let's get rolling. Let's take this one off, smoke under the hood, let it sit for 10 seconds. Let that smoke kind of calm the bees down, open her up. This is the honey super we added in a previous video a few weeks ago, not long ago. And bees are up here. Haha. What are they doing up here? Oh, look at that. I got a gap in my smoker. I feel air. So duct tape goes there. All right, whatever. All right, nothing to see up here. No brood. We're done looking. So we'll go ahead and drop this frame that was closest to the wall that had a beetle or two on it. Oh, there's another beetle. And let's get that beetle. Yep. Check for any other beetles. Don't see them. Let's put that frame in here. That way they can start adding that. Make sure all your frames are tight against each other in the middle. Leave enough gap right here. You put your fingers in, okay? So when you're putting your hive back together and you're pushing your frames in, they all have to be really tight. All these sections, all these little areas right here have to be touching each other tightly so that each side you can get your finger started down in there. Can't do that anywhere else. See, one of the things I want you to remember is when you're working a hive and if the bees are really calm, what can happen is you can forget that they're really calm, that they're not going to be calm forever, and you fail to use your smoker and they get rowdy on you. So remember to always, before you separate boxes, blow a little smoke between the boxes, and that will smoke the box below. All right, there we go. All right, let's set this over here on our top cover. And then what we'll do is smoke this super and we'll take a peek, make sure we didn't mess something up and the queen got up here. Should be a honey super with no brood. So let's take out a frame for speed, a little frame out of the middle more, like probably this frame here. We can do that by making a little gap there. Let me pop in here and ask you guys to please subscribe. It means so much to me. Click on the bell, give me a thumbs up. You'll be notified each time I make a new video like this one. Doesn't cost you anything, means a lot to me, so please subscribe. Let's get back into this hive. We have a swarm cup, or I guess what you would call a queen cup, not really a swarm cup. Nothing's in it, it's just there. Some nectar and a little bit of pollen and bee bread in there. And no sign of any eggs or anything there, so they're doing a good job. So there's nothing to see here. This is above a queen excluder, okay? Usually when I work without gloves, I always will get stung about 3 or 4 times. And at that point, I'm like, okay, reaching for the gloves. There's no reason, you know, to work a hive that is in a bad mood. I got a storm coming in. It's real windy today. There's a lot of reasons these bees could be in a bad mood. All right, that's heavy. This is the things that you pick up on when you're working bees. Look at these drones that are trapped above the queen excluder. Run for it, drones. Slow motion. This is heavy. All right. Ow, that hurt. Sting number 1 on the arm. You can see this bee here stung me. Stung me right there. I'm going to scrape the stinger out. That hurt. I think she got a blood vessel. Okay, so now it's time to put the gloves on. All right, got some gloves because ordinarily I may not wear gloves, but because I've got a fast approaching storm and I need to make a split, I need to get the job done. It was inevitable that I would get stung based on the few bees that were bouncing off my veil. That's food. Let me see if it has nectar in it. It does. This is a frame I'm going to put in my split. I want to show you what. See, I got a little honey on the edge. Nectar across the top, bee bread, and We could have the queen though, because we're now below the queen excluder. So what we have to do is look very carefully, because what we want to do is take the queen. But we won't know that unless we see her, right? Likely not on a frame of resources, but possible. A full frame of nectar packed in there. All right, so let's go ahead and put that, bees and all, over here in my nuke box. We'll put this one against the wall. All right. The tough thing is going to be finding the queen. We want to take the old queen with us. All right. Brood cells. More. Look at all that pollen. Wow. I didn't see her on that frame. We don't need a frame like that. So let's keep looking. We just need, maybe just one more frame of some resources, but mostly some frames of broods. Let's see what we got. This is a lot lighter in weight. All right, larvae looks good and healthy white. I do see a few queen cells on the bottom, and those queen cups have nothing in them. Do you see them on the bottom there? No worries. Let's look at the other side for a queen. Nice frame of brood. Got a lot of eggs and larvae and capped over. So this would be good for the split. But want to put eyes on my queen to know that I'm taking her away. Don't see her. One more look over here. A lot of pressure today to get all this done, filmed before the storm hits. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this frame. Okay, good brood pattern on that frame. No queen. And when I'm looking for the queen, it benefits me not to put these frames back in on this nice warm day, because I can get a little more eyes without the queen jumping back on a frame or something. And then I can look at the frames again when I put them back in. All right, I got eggs, so I know the queen is around here. Be nice to find her early, because I wouldn't have to do as much work. She's probably going to be in the bottom on the last frame I look at. I shouldn't speak negatively, should I? No. She's going to be up here to help me out, make my day go better. All right, I'm scanning. Don't see any queen cells. Now I think I'm going to put this frame out too. Putting it between my legs here. Ooh, nice cap brood. Looking for a queen. Good white larvae. Let me show you that up close. A few things we want to notice is the larvae that's in the cells. Hopefully you can see that. And we have 1-day-old eggs over here in the cells. And we have queen cups on the bottom. Queen cups on the bottom right there, and they are empty. If those are swarm cups, they're empty. But they could be any day now filled, charged up, but not yet. Take a chance, look over here for a queen. Cowboy up, got a cowboy up. Let's don't put these frames back in. I just don't want to. Ooh, good larvae. I got a mean laying machine in here. If we can just put eyes on her. I'm not seeing her. I'm looking carefully. I don't see a retinue. I don't see a wake behind her where they got out of the way of her. I'm going to check this side again. No. So let me show you this frame. This is a beautiful frame of larvae, white larvae in the middle. If you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. All right, let's put this, I should have brought a safe box. I could have put all these bees in, these frames in. I can do that still. Still might have some brood over here, so we might have the queen over here. Let's check. I love working bees like this, really do. It's fun. I don't like the pressure that I'm on today to beat that storm. but it is what it is. All right. Oh, I got brood against the wall. Yeah, that's capped over brood, drone brood for spring mating of other people's queens. Gotta pull this stinger out of my shoulder. That hurt. All right. Let's see. I don't see a queen there. That's 2 stings for me. All right. Queen, I'm ready to find you so we can get on with the day. Get you on here? Show yourself. You ever talk like that? It's like, come on. I need the queen. Work with me, people. I don't see her. So I am going to get another deep box over here. Kind of thinking if I'm looking for the queen, I could put these frames sort of back in the order that they came out in. Now I'm going to look for the queen again, just in case I missed her. Or she was walking on the side of a piece of wood on the frame and I just didn't catch her when she was walking around. So I like to looking at these before I put them back. Looking for the queen. Not seeing her. Put that frame right here against that frame. Look at this. We got a plan here. All right, now we got our next frame here. Let's smoke everything. All right. I got one more frame of brood against the wall. That's exciting. That's a lot of brood, man. This hive needs to be split. Dang. Nope. Doubles checking on this side. No frames. That frame in the box. All right, let's smoke and get another look on these 3 frames. Yeah, I could just walk away, do a walk away split, and whichever one, you know, doesn't have a queen would have eggs and one wouldn't. I teach on that all the time and I practice that. But here I'm just wanting to make a 5 frame split, so I need the queen to go with me. One more frame of brood on the top deep here. Let's smoke everybody, see if we can keep them happy a little bit longer. See, the trick is, can we keep them happy long enough to do our work? That's the tough part. Ooh, wow, good frame of capped brood, look at that. It's always what you want to see, right? Capped brood in the middle, rainbow effect. Eggs on the outside, nectar around that. So the queen could be here because we got some eggs on the top of the rainbow. So we're going to look for the queen here. Quick glance, don't see her, look on the other side. All right, uneven comb. Oh, looking for the queen. Are you anywhere to be found? I don't see her. So let's put this over there in our safe box, quiet box, whatever you want to call it. Against the wall right there. All right, let's just go ahead for now and just set it here. All right, look at that. All right, let's get some smoke down here where the queen is, right? By the way, some of you might notice some white grubs. That's grubs that were in some of the, in between the boxes and some comb, usually drones, but not to worry, no big deal. The more you work a hive and the further behind you get in finding the queen, the more apt you are to go super fast and irritate the bees. You don't want to do that, okay? We're going to hold them right here in this box. This is a pretty intense bee inspection. Everything looks good. There's no queen cells, but we're trying to find the queen, so we're meticulously going frame by frame. And getting stung a few times doesn't make it any more fun. Good frame of resources. Not going to find the queen there. Ooh, I had a little, when I was talking, I had a little breath that hit that frame and whew, those bees came up off that frame like they were ready to hunt for bear. Don't blow on a frame. May have to get my jacket on because I've probably got 10 or 20 that's pouncing my screen pretty hard. Yeah, I got bare arms above my gloves. No pun intended on the bear comment. Bare arms. Gosh, that's a good brood pattern. And now we have to look for the wall. for a wall walking queen. Okay, well, I did find her, and she's actually on a wall down there. And the reason I knew she was on the wall or in this area, because they're facing her and spraying Nasonov glands. Yeah, she's down in the corner. One of the reasons that it takes so long to make, for me to have a hive open is because I have to reset my tripods and my cameras, and it takes a lot of time. All right, so now they're all coming this way, so she must be over here now. Okay, so you see her right there? So I'm gonna take my glove off and get her. Where'd she go? I saw her. Mister. All right, so I got her. Look at that. There she is. Whew, she was hard to get off the wall there, but we got her. So now we're going to take her and put her in the nuke. So you might be thinking, you know, why don't you mark her? Well, I only got a blue pin on me right now, and I kind of don't want to mark her blue because she's not a this year queen. There she goes. All right, she's in that box. Whew. Not only was she on the last frame, but she jumped off and was actually on the wall beyond the last frame. And not bad. Let's put it against the wall. Now I need 2 frames of brood in the middle. Let's see what we got. Need a frame of cap brood, don't we? That's a good one. 4, 1 more. Yep, good one here. There we go. Here's our split. Yeah, I'm just going to set it right here on this bottom board. My reasoning is eventually they're going to be familiar with this location. Let's put a top on it. Okay, for now, let's just go ahead and put a regular top cover on the bad boy. Like this. Yep, and we'll put a brick on it. All right. Okay, I've got something really big to put in front of the hive. Ooh. And that way to force the foragers to take a orientation flight. Wow, that was heavy. Now the video that I made just a few days ago where we opened this hive up first time after winter, if you want to watch that video, it's very helpful. People really love it. You'll love it. Take a look at it right here. See you guys over there.